These days, I spend so much time talking to people working in organizations, and one of the things that I hear so much of is that people are really unhappy in their jobs and they feel like their organizations simply aren't giving them the support they need in order to do the work that has meaning for them. So, is it any surprise that the Gallup organization recently reported that 87% of workers feel disengaged from their jobs? Now, at the same time, I also spend a lot of time talking to managers and executives, and one of the things I hear from them is their frustration because, from their perspective, they feel like workers simply aren't willing to bring the best of themselves to their jobs. So, what's going on here? Because there's clearly a disconnect. But I think what's happening is something a lot deeper than simply job dissatisfaction. I think what we're seeing here are the symptoms of radical shifts in our society that have changed the relationship forever between individuals and organizations. I know that's a lot. Hi, everybody. Dr. David Holzmer here, and welcome to the Daily Dispatch, where we help organizations come together so that people can confidently navigate disruptive change. Over the last several decades, we've seen technology create radical shifts in our society, and one of the fundamental changes that has happened is a real transformation in the relationship between people and institutions. Think about it for a second. Throughout the 20th century, actually throughout the history of our country, progress has really been driven by institutions. I'm talking about governments, political parties, organizations, universities. These bodies have really been the source of progress, and they've created security and economic stability for millions. For workers, it used to be the case that you would go to work for an organization and you would basically surrender your life to that institution. You would do as they say, follow their rules, but on the flip side, what they would offer you in exchange was economic security and a place in society that would give you status and a meaningful identity. Over the last several decades, this has shifted. In a hyper-connected world, that kind of relationship between people and institutions no longer exists. Things now move so quickly that institutions can no longer, on their own, ensure the progress that they used to create. They can't manage the knowledge and the networks needed in order to make things move forward. That can only happen through, and here's the key, through a co-creative relationship between individual and the institution. That means we can no longer just blindly surrender ourselves to an organization and assume that they're going to carry us for the next however many years and offer us meaning and stability. Both individuals and organizations need to get crystal clear on what their goals are, and they need to ask themselves and each other the hard questions so that they can determine if this person or this organization shares my goals and work style and is going to move me in the direction I need to go. That brings us to today's 3 takeaways. Takeaway number 1, both individuals and institutions need to recognize that success is now a result of a partnership in which all parties are crystal clear on what they're pursuing and how they want to get there. That's a very different relationship than how we used to respond to organizations or what we used to assume organizations would do for us. Takeaway number 2, once we are clear on our goals and how we think we would like to get there, what we have to do is start building the network that would help us get in touch with the people, the knowledge, the opportunities that would move us towards our goals. Again, this is for both institutions and individuals. And takeaway number 3, Once we have gotten clear on our goals and we've established a network that is going to move us in that direction, then we need to take courageous action on a daily basis to start creating that future in partnership with others and with organizations in order to manifest what is deepest in our heart. That's the Daily Dispatch today. Thanks so much for tuning in. So if you like what you see here, please be sure to check out my website at www.davidholzmer.com. There are more videos there and blog articles. Plus, be sure to sign up for my mailing list to stay in touch with all that's going on and get some of the free goodies that are coming up soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.